Hi, everyone. Uh, we are here to introduce you to this really cool new map tool that's on our website. I am Christy Spoon with the Oregon Department of Energy, and I am the schools program lead here at the agency. And Bailey, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Bailey Harris. I'm the GIS analyst for the agency.
Perfect. Okay, so I'll just do a little overview of the Public Purpose Charge Schools program, and then we'll show you how to use this really cool new tool. The Oregon Department of Energy administers the Public Purpose Charge Senate Bill 1149 Schools program. And I just like to reference the Senate Bill 1149 just because, again, school districts refer to it as Senate Bill 1149 in a number of cases. But the program works with school districts that have schools within the PGE and Pacific Power Territory. And there are the Senate Bill 1149 funds or public purpose charge funds that are available to those school districts to implement energy efficiency projects in their schools. Or they can use the funds to purchase zero emissions vehicles or electric vehicle chargers. So this map is to just kind of show you some of those projects and be able to filter around and see different locations and things like that. And we'll go through that. But the map includes projects that are from July of 2012 through June of 2023. So again, it's not all of the data through the whole program, but it is a pretty big time frame of projects. And just to reiterate, these are only the projects that are funded, again, with Senate Bill 1149 funds or public purpose charge funds through this program. So it doesn't include other projects that were completed at school districts, maybe with other incentives or other grant funds or something like that. So Bailey, you want to go ahead and show us how this works?
Yeah, thank you, Christy. Yeah, hello everyone. So this is the start of the application. Yeah, it starts with the splash screen that details just the project, or a lot of what Christy just described. You go ahead and hit OK. It pulls up the application. You got three main areas. You got your map in your top right, information, data layers, and options to filter the data on the bottom right. And then you got project information on the left. So I'll start here in the bottom right. This is the About section, and it includes the information that Christy just described in the application directional overview, much like what we're talking about right now. And then I include our data sources and contact information as well. Next, you have the legend. Projects are displayed two ways, by color and size. A facility that has a greater number of projects is going to be lighter in color and larger, have a larger point. Facilities with a lower amount of projects are going to have a smaller point and a darker shade. Next, you have your layers. I include Oregon counties and school districts, as well as political districts. You can turn those on or off by using this I button. Next, you have your data filters, and we'll do some examples of this later. But you can simply enter in a school facility or a school district, and it'll reduce the number of projects shown on the map to reflect your filter. Up here at the map, you have a couple different options to zoom in and zoom out, as well as reorient yourself by clicking the home button or reorienting yourself northwards. You can search for an address if you know a school's address to pull up and select the point using the search button. You can also change your base map to your preference. I'd recommend sticking with the navigation base map, although we do offer more accessible base maps that have enhanced color contrast. On the left, we have project information. It details the type of project implemented and is dependent upon your selection or your filter. The default is the first project within our list. You can tab in between projects using these arrows. You can also export projects in this pane. You can export the current project information as a CSV and other data types. However, I recommend using the CSV option. You can export all of the data within our available data set as a CSV as well. This changes based on your selection or based upon your filter. Next, we highlight the funding allocation of projects. Currently, this shows the funding allocation for all projects within our database. This will also change based on your filter or selection preferences. To complete a filter, you go over to the filter tab in the bottom right, and you can enter in a facility or school district. I'll quickly do North Salem as the local example in the Salem area. You can either search or scroll for it within the list. You hit apply. It zooms in to your project there into the facility location and details all projects at that facility. Again, we can export all projects related to North Salem High School using this export button. You can remove a filter by hitting cancel or the reset button. Another example, before I pass it on to Christy, I will do a filter based on school district. Again, I will use Salem as an example. I searched for it. You select it, hit apply, and it zooms into and filters the data set for the Salem School District. Again, we can export and we can see the funding allocation split based on that school district. All right, I'll pass it over to Christy. Thank you.
Yeah. So Bailey, while you're in this kind of filter screen, if you can just scroll down to the category of the measure type. Again, we don't need to do the actual filter. Folks can kind of do their own toggling through this, but I just like to point out the measure type includes energy efficiency measures, fleet measures, and operations and maintenance measures. So if you're trying to filter kind of for categories, that's kind of one way to filter for that. And then Bailey, if you can scroll down to the next filter option, which is the measure class. Again, this gets a little bit more broken down. So again, for school districts or anybody that's looking for a specific type of project, if you're looking for lighting, or again, if you just want to filter for electric school buses and or electric vehicle chargers, there's those options in the measure class. So that's a little bit more broken down. Again, it will narrow that filter a little bit more when you use those options. And then Bailey, if you scroll over to the left-hand pane where it shows the project description, just scroll down a little bit to the bottom of the cost in that section. So kind of what I want to point out to those looking at the data is, again, just that we provide a number of data aspects in here related to the project that's installed. So it's related to, again, whatever you're looking, whatever this first project is specifically a project that looks like it was installed in 2012. We've got the estimated savings based on that project that we had the data on at that time. And the cost data, again, we include the total project cost, and then we break down some of the additional costs. In this scenario, again, it was fully funded through Senate Bill 1149 funds. But I will note that on other projects, when you're looking at that, the other funds category, we lump a number of things in there in that, again, if it's not, let's say if it's not 1149 funds or a utility incentive, everything else kind of gets lumped into that other funds. And that's going to be, grant funds or other district funds or something like that. So that'll all be in that category. The other thing I kind of want to just remind folks of, again, this map is, again, just displaying those projects that were installed using Senate Bill 1149 funds or public purpose charge funds through our program. But again, it also is based on that these projects all had different guidelines, again, because there's 12 years of data kind of on this map. So there are different program guidelines in place for some of these. And so the guidelines for that particular project is going to be based on when that was installed. So there's some older projects. One example is like older projects. We used to say that if the project had a payback, simple payback over 50 years, then it was not eligible at all. Whereas now that project could be eligible, but your reimbursement amount through the program might be a little bit lower because it's going to be based on that savings. So again, just keep that in mind that these projects again are based. They may have different guidelines or rules at the time that they were installed, but other than that, again, feel free to look through the data and kind of click around and check out the filters. And if you have any questions about the data, please feel free to reach out to us. Again, Bailey's got the contact information there. It's in the About section. So please reach out to us if you have any questions about the data or any functions in the map. Thank you so much.
Thank you.